Tell me how you got into advertising as a Hollywood producer, an actor, writer. Like, how did this all happen?
Well, it really started with my brother, who works at Microsoft. They were looking for some outside thinking from a different world, different group. So he suggested, why don't you meet with my brother and his filmmaker relationships and his friends? And I said, sure, anything for my brother, right? So we met with the executives at Microsoft. That's where we met Kathleen Hall, who's the head of advertising, and we started our journey. That's where I had Brian and Ahmed Zappa and Nate Tuck. There was a group of us that decided to go up and start riffing and playing with them and giving them our sort of unfiltered thoughts on the corporation and on their future products.
Yeah, nice. And obviously, as an actor and a writer, screenwriter, what did you think of getting into advertising?
It was very exciting because I've always loved marketing in general.
Okay.
Always just had a thing for commercials. So this was a very exciting opportunity. And also as a filmmaker, what an interesting challenge to tell these stories in 60 seconds and 30 seconds. Now we tell stories in 15 seconds. You know what I mean? That is a super exciting challenge and also liberating in a lot of ways to have that opportunity.
I mean, I'm not going to lie, I love it. I love being told a story when it comes to an advert. I mean, I'm that big, like I love everything Dior does because I see a whole movie happening in front of me. So this is great. But now with the way the advertising world is going, they're looking at 6-second adverts. How can you fit a movie or like a trailer into 6 seconds?
You know, you can tell a story, believe it or not, in 6 seconds. And one of the things that we work on when we make our creative or work on our creative is, what is the one takeaway? What is the one breakthrough that's going to get people's attention? So when you go down to 6 seconds, then you take that one piece of breakthrough that you know is your anchor and hammer that. And I think that is kind of the secret sauce, or our secret sauce, so to speak, is to make sure that the very thing that we are building around, so all the bells and whistles around that one thing we're trying to say. If you're going to 6 seconds, then you just go right after that one thing.
Wow. And what about you? I mean, 6 seconds.
Well, I would say it's even more than just 6 seconds. It's 6 seconds with the sound off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean,
Yeah,
online.
yeah.
I mean, so that's super challenging. So number one, it comes back to what Andrew said, which is crystal clear messaging. You cannot message 10 things in 6 seconds. You have to have a single thing that you want the takeaway to be. So I'd say that is first and foremost. And then inventiveness, you know, finding different ways to tell that story.
Yeah, because I feel like as a creative, to jam everything into 6 seconds, it must be really hard.
Yes. Yes, but it's also very exciting, you know. I mean, the challenge is the opportunity.
Now, in regards to technology, I know you were on Tron, so like if we look at technology and how it's taking over the world, audio is the next step. People are going to be doing a lot of advertising through audio. It's going to be the next big social media aspect. You already have Alexa, who's taking over our homes. How can you take away the image and just use sound?
Well, it's the same thing. We do it all the time. I mean, at the end of the day, storytelling is storytelling, whether it's audio, through music, or through visuals. Sometimes you put all three together and that's amazing. Sometimes we've done things, you know, with no audio and it's very powerful with imagery. And sometimes we've done very little imagery and very heavy sound. Because playing with sound and sound design is incredibly creative in terms of your imagination runs wild. So a lot of times we like to pull back and use a ton of sound design to trick the brain into thinking it's going one way, but maybe it's going another way. You can do a tremendous amount with sound. I mean, horror movies are built on sound, right? When we do sound design and you do surround sound, you think something's coming from over here, but it's not. It's coming from over here, but it might be coming from over here. So you're playing around with design to shake the brain into and tricking it into thinking it's going one way, but it might be going another way, and that creates emotion. And that's what we're always trying to accomplish in anything that we're doing is, can we emote a feeling? Can we get it to feel visceral? And we will go to any length to get there. It does not matter as long as we create a visceral reaction.
Do you think going into advertising is now going to become a trend in Hollywood? I mean, we saw in the news, Dwayne Johnson is now opening up an ad agency as well. So is this the way that we're going forward for the future?
I think that what we see right now is this kind of hybridization of entertainment, branding. It has become called content.
Yeah.
And content is content at this point. So yes, I see a hybridization. I mean, we've been doing this for 6 years, so I think we've kind of been building a new kind of form of telling these stories and kind of leading this kind of concept of bringing those two elements together.
Yeah, we're really excited for our colleagues to come in. I mean, Dwayne Johnson's rep by our agent Adam Bennett, so it's in the family. So for us, we've been doing it for 6 years, sort of bridging this world, and to see some of our other colleagues like coming in, only for me and for Brian and for the team, we're just excited because it means that our relationships are starting to, come over, and that means we'll get to expand and get to grow, and people will get even more excited about us if the Dwayne Johnson, who has an incredible brand. I can't wait to see what he does with branding because he knows how to brand himself better than anybody else.
Yeah.
So I feel even more excited that he's coming in, and my agency and our agency is excited about all of this that's going on. They believe that it can be done, and we have been doing it for so long now. I think we believe now that it can be done. I think that's kind of the fun of it. It's like we're now believers in the process, and we can bring other stars, and which we have, other actors, which we have, and other writers from different worlds, from television shows to, other, from commercials to anything into our world, and have them adapt to what we're doing.
I think that's amazing. Now, the one challenge that I would like for you guys to give me. Okay, I have a challenge for you guys.
All right, you want to work on our next campaign?
No. Actually, no.
I'll give you a brief.
So, I see so many emotional adverts, and the worst thing is I'm that person that when I'm watching an ad, I'm crying, especially when it pulls out the heartstrings, and I feel like you guys know how to do that.
I like to cry. I love to cry, yeah.
But give me something that I laugh so much that I wet my pants. I want that. I want you guys, I want to laugh so hard that I'm like, oh my God, I need the lube. I want to laugh that much. Can you give me that?
Of course.
Oh, yeah. The irony being is both him and I, it's kind of where we come from. He was on Frasier for so many years doing comedy. My whole career started with comedy, from She's All That to Van Wilder to Wedding Crashers to, Hot Tub Time Machine. So many crazy, I would say some people, went to the loo a few times during some of those movies, and maybe not others, depending. But I think that comedy, us playing in the comedy space and advertising is definitely there for the taking, and we're excited about doing that.
Andrew and I are putting a movie together right now, and we have a couple of TV ideas that we're working on, and we continue to push down different avenues and do different kinds of storytelling. And I think it is really exciting right now, seeing this kind of hybridization, and branding world come together with Hollywood.
Is there any films that I need to be looking out for, a TV series that I need to be looking out for?
Well, there's a couple of things that we think are coming. I don't know if we're really apt to getting into it right now. We're probably under NDA about it yet right now because they're a bit secret. But yes, you will be seeing features from us and television shows in the near future, and we're really excited about. And even brands you may know. But yeah, we're playing in all worlds right now, which is again really exciting. The blend. Mm-hmm. So and we're taking the skill set from advertising over to filmmaking, and then we're taking the filmmakers and putting them over into advertising. So we're meshing the worlds, whether we create a trailer to get a movie going or a television show going from our advertising side, or taking the filmmakers that we work with, that we're currently working with on movies, and bringing them to the advertising side. So that's the model, and it's actually working.
I mean, I'm really excited. I love what you guys are doing. So Black Op is the agency, is that right?
Black Ops? Yeah, Black Ops. Yep, Black Ops Agency. And, we finally have, it's been a few years. We haven't really told our story. So here we are. So it's a lot of fun.
So guys, watch out for these guys. You guys are awesome. Thank you.
Thank
you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.